it's our how-to day. Here at Great Expectations, we get really excited because our studio is a hive of activity on these days. And this morning, we have lots of fun lined up. And that weird bunch of items lying there are a clue to keep you guessing. But first, let's get some horrid habits out of the way. Biting, hitting, nose picking, all common behavior for little ones. And to tell us how to manage this, I'm joined by educational psychologist Sunita Patel. Welcome to the show again, Sunita. When do bad habits start, and why do they usually start?
Nebo would say bad habits start around the age of 6 months and can go anything up to about 5 years to even 7 years sometimes. And basically it's a soothing mechanism, a coping mechanism for kids for either frustration, anxiety, insecurity, boredom, tiredness, just depending on what's happening with the child.
When can we blame mum and dad for bad habits, like swearing, for example?
Well, children imitate what they hear, what they see, you know. So obviously if mom and dad are guilty of these horrid behaviors in front of the little ones, yes, you're going to see your little ones act out those little horrid habits.
let's go through some scenarios with and illustrate some of these bad habits. Starting with biting, very close to my heart. My son bites. He's a biter. He bites when he gets irritated. What do I do?
Well, you see, it depends on the age of the child as well. Okay, you need to go back and look at the reason why the child is doing the certain behavior. For example, if your child is frustrated, maybe they can't communicate what they want. You know, so they're frustrated, they tend to bite.
Yeah.
Okay?
If you tell him he's doing something wrong, he's 17 months. You know, if you tell him stop doing this, stop doing that, then he'll bite. That's his rebellion.
Yes, because he's struggling to communicate, he gets frustrated, and that's how he acts out a bit. Okay, but how you could handle that is, because his comprehension is limited. Yeah. Okay, tell him what he did wrong and distract the behavior. Okay, because trying to sit him down and talk to him about it is not going to work. Their comprehension is limited at 17 months.
Punishment?
I think give a warning first, and if it happens again, show him you're serious, and you could give a punishment, yes.
Okay, we've got lots that we want to get through. Scenario number 2, spitting. I take away my toddler's toy because he's being naughty, and then he turns around and spits in my face.
Yeah. The first reaction to that would be anger. Okay, the more you draw attention to the behavior and the more angry you get, the worse the behavior would become. What I would do is give a warning again, explain to the child, depending on the age of the child. If the child can comprehend, explain a bit more, give a warning or punishment or distraction.
What kind of a punishment?
Well, whatever works for the child. You know, is it time out, or you won't get dessert today? Whatever works for your child. Okay,
and we always follow the golden rule for timeouts, which is 1 minute for every year of age, right?
Yes.
Okay. You spoke about distractions. What kind of distractions should we try to use on our kids?
Let's look at a horrid habit like nail biting.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe the child is nervous most of the time. If they need to fidget all the time with their fingers, maybe give them a bit of a stress ball or something else to do with their fingers, other than them nail biting.
Let's try another scenario. Swearing. A 4-year-old spills a drink at breakfast and then uses the F word in context.
Okay, it's going to happen. It's a normal part of development. Again, explain to the child that you don't use that kind of behavior. Explain why it's wrong. If it's a 4-year-old, they can comprehend a lot more. Explain you don't use that kind of behavior and hope that you don't swear in front of them.
What if they carry on?
It gets better. Hang in there. Keep explaining to them why the behavior is bad and that they shouldn't do it. Warnings, consequences, consistency.
Consistently.
And it should start getting better. Okay. If by the age of grade 1 or 7 years you see no improvement, the behavior is getting worse, then I think that's the time to consult a professional, because there's something else feeding that behavior.
Okay, let's talk about nose picking. A 3-year-old constantly has his finger in his nose, and when it's not in his nose, it's in his mouth.
Okay. We all want to raise socially acceptable children, okay? But it's a normal part of behavior. They're exploring. And sometimes it's even more than exploring. Sometimes it's maybe an irritation, you know? So check why your child is actually always doing it. Is it to flare you up all the time? Or is there some real irritation, you know? Make sure they always have tissues in their pocket. Try and keep teaching them, rather blow your nose, use this. What is socially appropriate behavior?
Okay, okay. What about lying and stealing? A child who's always taking your brush or taking your keys, or a child who just constantly makes up stories that aren't true.
Okay.
What do we do?
Very normal part of development again.
Okay.
It overlaps with imaginative play, pretend play. But then again, so is honesty. Okay, so again, give your warnings and tell the child why it's wrong to do so. Okay, never blame the child or name the child a liar. Okay, and also look at your reaction to why the child is lying. Maybe you get so upset that the child is reluctant to tell the truth the next time. You know, look at the severity of the lie and react accordingly.
I've noticed you keep reiterating the fact that we need to give warnings. We need to be consistent about the behavior.
Yes.
So every time that they do it, we need to reiterate.
Yes.
And you shy away from punishment.
I think because I see it as such a normal part of behavior, children are going to do it, and the punishment, bringing a lot of attention to the behavior and punishing them is just going to make it worse.
Okay.
I'm not saying leave them, but accordingly, give consequences accordingly.
We've got just a minute left, Sunita. Thank you for the advice, but I want to ask you before we go away, what do we do if the behavior is persistent as the child keeps getting older? When do we know that a child has a problem? If a child carries on doing the same thing at 6 years old or 7 years old, is that time to seek professional help?
Yes, definitely,
Okay.
Lebo, because it's showing you that there's something else feeding this behavior, either the anxiety or the insecurity. There's a deeper problem there. Okay, and that is feeding this behavior to continue. So if you see no improvement, if you're doing the consequences, the consistency, and you see no improvement, definitely consult a
Okay.
doctor.
Okay. Thank you so much for your advice. That was fantastic.
Pleasure.
So give warnings, be consistent, reiterate. That's your child's horrid habits sorted out. But what about yours, Mommy? After the break, we've got top tips on how to give up smoking. But right now, it's time for your Pampers Monday Minute. And this morning, quick tips on how to have a healthy pregnancy and birth.
A healthy pregnancy and birth gives your child a great start in life. So it's very important for you to visit your clinic or doctor as soon as you think you might be pregnant. A healthy pregnancy requires regular monthly visits to your doctor, midwife, or other healthcare professional. Most government hospitals and clinics offer free antenatal education and medical checkups to expectant moms. Morning, everybody. Morning. Make sure you eat healthy food, drink lots of water, and get enough rest. You should completely avoid alcohol, drugs, and smoking when you're pregnant. Ask your clinic about antenatal classes. This will help you plan for the birth and know exactly what to do when you go into labor. Once your baby is born, try and breastfeed for at least 6 months. Visit your clinic every month so your baby can be weighed and vaccinated. Education is the key to a healthier pregnancy and birth and a better future for your baby.
And that ends the current series of Pampers Monday Minutes. I really hope you've enjoyed them and have found them as useful as I have. After the break, how to give up smoking. Yes, you can. Hi, you're with us on Great Expectations. May is Anti-Tobacco Month, and last week we heard how very damaging smoking is, whether you're pregnant, breastfeeding, or are already a parent. Children can develop asthma and sinus conditions simply by being near a smoker. But smokers often feel helpless at the thought of trying to give up. But there is hope, and there is help. And to tell us how to give up smoking is Dr. Yusuf Saluji, Executive Director of the National Council Against Smoking. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you very much, Lebo. Pleasure to be here.
Thank you. Can you tell us about some of the immediate benefits of giving up smoking? If somebody quits now, what starts happening to their body?
One of the amazing things about the human body is its ability to heal itself. So the minute you stop smoking, the levels of the dangerous chemicals in tobacco smoke that are in your blood start to fall. Within 24 hours, all the carbon monoxide is out of your body. Now, carbon monoxide is a poison that steals oxygen. It's also good news for the baby because the baby will get more oxygen, which is essential. Within 24 to 48 hours, all the nicotine will be out of your system.
Really?
Absolutely. Many people think, I've been smoking for 20 years. How long will it take before the nicotine goes? Within 24, 48 hours. Within 2 to 3 days, people will find that their sense of smell and taste comes back. And then after that, you find that your blood pressure begins to return to normal, that your breathing becomes easier, and every day without smoking is good news for the body.
I mean, it's amazing to see how immediate the benefits are, but even though the nicotine is out of my body, even though I'm breathing better, even though I'm not smelling it and tasting it anymore, the craving, my body still wants the nicotine. How long does it take for that to go away?
That's a very important question. And for many people, people don't realize that the first 3 or 4 days of stopping smoking are the most difficult.
Wow.
Within a week to 10 days, most of the withdrawal symptoms are gone. So the irritation, the feeling of not being able to sleep properly, etc. But there's a couple that last longer. The craving for cigarettes and hunger. Some people find that when they stop smoking, they start to put more food into their mouths.
I want to talk about that. We're going to get to that just now because that's a really difficult side effect. Yeah. But what about getting your mind right? How the psychology of preparing yourself to quit?
Yes, absolutely. I think that is the key element of stopping smoking. Most people, within 2 or 3 days of stopping smoking, or even within 2 or 3 hours of stopping smoking, ask themselves, why am I doing this to myself?
Yeah.
And if at that stage you can't answer the question why, you're going to go back to smoking. Because all you have to say is, all these bad things are going to disappear, all I have to do is light up a cigarette. So the important thing is, why do you do it? And I always say, why you should stop is the key element, your motivation. And for a pregnant woman, she can have no better motivation than her baby and her own health and her family's health. Because remember, every time you light up, you're forcing other people in the house to breathe that tobacco smoke.
It's true.
And harming them as well.
It's true.
So think about why you want to stop smoking and why it's important to stop and the benefits of stopping.
Think about what it is that you want for your life
What
for
you
your
want for your
child's
life.
life.
Yeah, I always say to people, it's not willpower, it's want power. If you want it, you can do it.
Okay, so let's talk about some of the ways that people can quit smoking. What is nicotine replacement therapy?
Okay, NRT is short for nicotine replacement therapy. Now, most people smoke, and the addictive element in tobacco smoke is nicotine. So when you haven't smoked for an hour or so, your blood nicotine levels start to fall, and that's when your brain says, I want nicotine. And that's when you start to get the craving for a cigarette and you smoke. So you smoke because you need nicotine. Now, nicotine replacement therapy, what it does is it gives you small amounts of nicotine to take the edge of the withdrawal symptoms, and then gradually reduces the amount of nicotine you get. So you don't get any of the pleasure of smoking, but you do get enough nicotine to reduce the withdrawal symptoms. And then over a period of 2 or 3 months, you gradually reduce the amount of nicotine you take in, and then until you're nicotine free and you stop smoking at the same time.
How does it go into your body, and is it safe for pregnant moms?
Okay, now that's a very, very important question. How it gets into the body is very different from cigarette smoking. Firstly, with cigarette smoking, you have to inhale the smoke into your lungs in order to get it in. With nicotine gum or nicotine patches, the patches you get it through the skin, the gum or the spray you get it through the mouth. You just take it into the mouth and it's absorbed through the lining of the mouth. But the very important question is, should pregnant women use it? Now, mostly people say pregnant women should not use nicotine replacement therapy because they say they should just try to use counseling and behavioral therapy. But I always say, and many people also believe, that a small amount of nicotine to help you stop smoking for a short period of time. If it helps you to stop smoking, use it.
So it's the lesser of two evils.
It's the lesser of two evils, and you won't get the tar and the carbon monoxide and all the other things that's in tobacco.
We've only got 2 minutes and there's so much information to get through, but I just want to make mention of the fact that the number for your quit line, we are giving that to our moms on the screen right now. So if they need more information, they can come directly to your organization.
Absolutely,
Okay.
but there is a small problem with the quit line at the moment. The telecom lines in our area are down. So please, if you don't get through and the phone only rings, try again in a day or so. We've
Okay.
had problems all of last week as well.
Okay, so let's have a look at drugs, Zyban and Champix.
These are two drugs that are very helpful for people who want to stop smoking, but unfortunately pregnant women can't use them.
Okay.
They've not been tested in pregnant women, so the recommendation is that they shouldn't use them.
Okay.
The best thing for pregnant women to do is, as I say, make up a mind to decide to stop smoking and then call the quit line. We'll help you.
Acupuncture, hypnotherapy?
Again, there's very little evidence that either of those help.
Okay.
If they do, it's simply because psychologically women feel that they're not on their own, that they've got some help. The acupuncture, the hypnotherapy boosts their motivation to stop smoking. So it provides some placebo help.
You have been fighting this battle for many, many years. What are your top tips for long-term success? What works?
Okay. Number one, make up your mind, decide to stop smoking. Once you decide to stop smoking, list all your reasons for stopping smoking. Don't just say health. Think about your baby, think about how your baby will be better off, think about how you'll be better off. So list your reasons for stopping smoking. The next thing is set a date. On that date, throw all your cigarettes, all your ashtrays, everything away. And
Throw
on that,
it out, get it out of the house.
Out of
Okay.
sight, out of mind.
Out of the car, out of okay.
everywhere. Clean your car so that
Okay.
the ashtrays
Your
don't have
office, your
cigarettes
desk,
everywhere.
everything, okay.
You don't want the smell of stale smoke. When you smell tobacco smoke or see other people smoking, it's a reminder. So get rid of it. Third thing, get help, get support. Call the quit line, get your family, get your friends to help you. And then fourth, you know, if you're going on a journey, you're not going to simply say, I'm going to Cape Town and get into the car and drive. You prepare for the journey. You think about what's the route I'm going to take. So before you quit, think about the cigarettes that are going to be difficult to give up, the ones that are important to you. Is it the first one in the morning when you wake up? Is it the one after a meal? Or is it the one when you're angry and stressed? And when that time comes, how are you going to deal with it? What are you going to do to make sure that the craving doesn't overtake you and lead you back to smoking?
Fantastic advice, Yusuf. Thank you so much. Because smoking is an appetite suppressant, one of the side effects of quitting smoking can be an increased appetite, oral fixation, putting things in our mouths. After the break, we get into our demo kitchen for some healthy food options. Welcome back. It's our how-to show today. And now it's time to cook. If you are quitting smoking, you may find you have cravings or an increased appetite. Good, healthy, tasty meals are the only way to cut those cravings. And Chef Brad Ellis has some fabulous ideas on how to help. What foods should somebody who is quitting smoking avoid altogether?
Okay, so basically what you're going to do is do a little bit of research first in terms of that. But what I would suggest is anything that doesn't have nightshades in them. Now, what nightshades are is that the little ingredients that are found, funnily enough, in potatoes, in carrots, in certain things like that, but foremost in meats, you know, red meats, chicken and everything like that. So try and avoid any meats or anything and go more on the vegetarian side and eat more vegetables and healthy things like that. Not too many potatoes or anything like that, but you can just generally balance it out.
Okay, so what are you making for us today, and why have you chosen it specifically on this episode where we're talking about giving up smoking and bad habits? How does it support this topic?
Okay, fantastic. Well, basically giving up smoking, you know, we can't just throw anything together and say, listen, this is what we're going to eat. So it's pretty much basically a vegetarian meal itself. So what I've done is I've done one vegetarian meal and I've done one meal with meat in, because obviously with your lifestyle, you can't completely cut out that protein. So as far as meat is concerned, turkey would be the best meat to use.
Turkey?
Turkey, that's correct.
So leave the beef, leave the boerewors, leave the
leave the
pork,
boerewors, leave the pork, leave everything like that.
Okay.
Leave the biltong and anything and any product like that, and stick to turkey. However, you know, it's not always available in shops, so lean chicken breast or minced chicken breast will be no problem.
Light
you know,
meat,
to cook.
white
It's not
meat.
going to kill you, 100%.
Okay,
white meat.
fantastic.
But do stay away from the dark ones.
Fantastic. Good information. Let's get started. What have you got here? It's so bright and colorful and healthy and beautiful. What's going on?
Great. Well, basically, we got some nice fresh ingredients that we're going to use on a gourmet pizza. Now, this is a garden gourmet pizza. There's no meat products on it, but what we've done is we've got some nice fresh ingredients, some nice cheeses, and certain ingredients that when you eat the pizza, you're not exactly saying, oh, where's my meat, or where's my sausages,
miss it.
or what you would usually find, and it's actually pretty tasty. And as far as mums are concerned, you know, they're also very busy. So this particular pizza itself can be enjoyed in the afternoon or in the evening, you know, after looking after the kids.
The hard thing with pizza is the base. What do we need to get started?
Okay, fantastic. Well, basically with the base, it's very, very simple. Okay, so all we need here is, what I've done over here is I've pre-prepped some dough. So mistakes that people usually would make is don't forget your flour, just a little bit, not too much, just to sprinkle over there. That's just basically just to avoid the pizza dough from sticking. So basically, the pizza dough is very easy to make. Okay, so what you got to do is use a little bit of water and a little bit of dough. Now, it's nice to experiment. Don't always go and look at the recipe. So as far as I'm concerned, just use a certain amount of dough that you would want to use.
So don't be afraid to play.
Don't be afraid to play, and then just add water till you get a nice consistency, not too sticky.
So for all the yummy mummies who are watching, don't worry. The recipe is going to be up on our Facebook page. It's up on our site. If you didn't get it right now, don't stress. So you knead it, you work the dough until it gets to this consistency?
This consistency. The thing that people have the problem with the most, obviously, thanks so much, is adding stuff into the dough yourself. So don't be afraid of adding like extra paprika or any herbs or anything, just to give the crust a little bit more flavor, because what people will do is we'll just add it on, you know, just a normal flavor crust. By adding ingredients into your dough itself, you're just adding more flavor into the pizza, so you just get this full explosion and you don't really expect.
Fantastic.
You know,
Can I get rolling while you show us some?
Fantastic. Let me give you some flour over here, just a little bit extra.
You put more flour on, and then let's see if my mkaba can hold it down.
There we go. And then what we can also do is just put some on the roll itself.
Okay.
Just to avoid, there we go. You're not doing too badly there.
Okay,
Just
we've got
a little bit sticky.
We've got just a couple of minutes to go, and I noticed that you've got one that's already prepared, hey?
Yes, that's correct.
What would the next step after we get this dough sorted be?
Okay, fantastic. So basically what you've got to do after the dough sorted itself, you don't have to be picky or anything like that, so just pretty much put the stuff on. We're looking for a rustic style, nice looking pizza. So what I've basically got over here, what you put on the pizza itself, is you've got courgettes over here.
Stunning.
Don't slice them too thickly, obviously, because they're not going to cook properly on the pizza itself. So make sure that your vegetables are sliced quite thinly and smaller, not like very big chunks. So it just works well on the pizza.
Beautiful things going on. Can we get going? Can we make this pizza? Can we see how
no
to do it?
problem. Let me sort you out there.
Okay.
Okay, what we need here, obviously, it's a little bit sticky. Just need some more flour over here.
Okay. We have got some beautiful vegetables happening here. We've got eggplant, we've got red and yellow peppers, we've got mushrooms, we've got courgettes, we've got fresh basil, we've got cherry tomatoes. That's fresh oregano, hey?
Yes, that's correct.
The studio smells amazing. I could smell it from the time I walked in. And there's rocket and there's all sorts going on.
There we go. Beautiful.
Your advice on snacks, you know, smoking is it's an oral fixation, and a lot of it is the relationship between the hand and the mouth.
As far as snacks are concerned, in terms of the hand-to-mouth addiction, the most important thing is just to make sure that you've got something to snack on, because you'll find a lot of the addiction is actually in that hand-to-mouth thing.
Yeah.
So if you don't have anything to do specifically, you're going to obviously want to smoke. So in terms of snacks and that, you know, I would prefer to use mixed nuts, fat-free, and then obviously what I've got over here is I've got some sugar-free, or should you say fructose suckers.
For the sweet tooth, we've got that going on.
Yes, 100% that you can suck on, and that will also avoid and eliminate any other cravings that spark smoking, such as going out and eating chocolates.
Where do you get these?
You can get them at any store, you know, you can look around, but obviously pretty much any store. It's very easily ready.
Brad, I want to jump in and put together this burger while you are busy sorting out the pizza. Can I do that?
No problem at all.
So
I'll talk you through it.
You'll talk me through it.
Fantastic.
So what's in this patty?
Okay, so basically what's in the patty itself, it's very, very simple. What I've done is I've added some olive oil as well as egg white to bind the ingredients. But what you've got to use is you've got to use ground up minced turkey beef. However, if you can't find that, then you've got to use the chicken meat itself. What I've added to that is pine nuts. It just adds a little bit of a nuttiness and you know, it just makes it everything.
Don't stop rolling, keep working that dough, brother.
Yeah, it's just a little bit tough. It was
Yeah,
out a
it
little bit long, yeah.
Yeah.
But what we'll do is we'll do a slightly smaller one.
Okay. In the meantime, the recipe for the turkey burger is also going to be on the website. I'm just going to go ahead and assemble this burger, right? This is an ordinary, this is an English muffin. You've got...
But you're doing it chef style, so let's...
I'm doing it chef style. Okay, this is not me at my house, you're right. This is chef style.
Okay, so the first thing you put on your pizza itself is the tomato paste. Don't put too much. You're looking at about 1.5 teaspoons. So you just go like that. And listen, guys, we're not in a chef competition.
Sure.
So as far as mums are concerned and kids, it's always nice to have fun with them as well.
Don't
and you
worry
can actually,
about it being perfect.
And you can actually make the pizza with your kids itself, and it always, you know, gives an extra activity
and
for
the
them.
kids can paint, they can make their own pizzas,
You
they
can
can
pretty
paint
much,
the base.
You can pretty much do anything as far as the pizza's concerned.
That's really nice.
As far as the ingredients, you can always experiment and, you know, not be bored with anything and, you know, always change it around. Because we do have a lot of fruits and vegetables. That's what people seem to forget.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put the burger together. What is this? This is beautiful.
Fantastic. Well, this is just basically more dips that I brought just to show you what we can use. So I've got some fat-free nachos over here. Now, these have been baked.
Okay.
Okay, so as far as snacking is concerned, you don't have to take your Simba Crisp or, you know, go eat your chocolate. We've got cream cheese and hummus over here. This is basically a chickpea dip.
I can put that on my burger too, no?
You can put that on your burger. It's actually very nice. It's going to work very well with that. Okay, and then yellow pepper goes on.
So while I am busy assembling this burger and you are assembling the pizza, I'd like you to talk us through what you are doing. Can you tell us what you're putting on that pizza?
Fantastic. Well, what we're doing with the pizza itself is we've got fresh veg ingredients. I've put eggplants on because it sometimes simulates the taste of meat as well. So just make sure you've got some nice chunky veg on there.
Nice.
And then obviously adding some cherry tomatoes.
Some
you've got to have them
tomatoes.
on. It adds a little bit of an Italian fling to it. Okay,
and then... You've got beautiful fresh herbs as well. Are we going to put cheese on this?
What we're going to do, very interesting enough,
Can I put some fresh oregano?
You can put fresh on, and then what we'll also do itself is we can also mince some with olive oil and salt.
Oh, wow.
That just adds an extra infusion itself, so that just works very well. Salt just to make sure
We've got less than a minute to go. Can we mince the fresh herbs all together? Yeah. Oh, wow.
Very simple, very easy.
You can smell the flavor in the oregano just popping open.
Okay, and then what we do is you can pretty much grab it and then just fling it on as much as you can.
So the crushing makes the flavor kind of come alive.
The crushing makes the flavor come alive.
Fantastic.
And then also with the basil itself, you don't have to chop it. Just make sure that you avoid putting the stems in because that has bitter tendencies. So what we got to do is just make sure you take the leaves itself. Nice fresh leaves. It looks very nice on the pizza itself.
I never knew that.
Okay.
Thank you. And then we mustn't forget the cheese.
And then what we're going to do, last thing, obviously, is the cheese. So what I've done is I've got some mozzarella and Parmesan cheese over here, and we're just going to place a few chunks. You don't have to grate it. Make it look rustic. Make it look nice and different.
We've got just a couple of seconds to go, Brad. You are fantastic. I'm going to go and get the pizza that you made earlier out of the oven to show everybody who's watching.
Yeah, let me give you a hand over
Please.
There.
It looks amazing and it smells even better.
So it's nice and thick, and I mean, obviously you don't have to have this on its own. If you're having it for lunch, you can have it with the extra side salad, but obviously we got a lot of vegetables on here itself. And then what you do over here...
amazing.
Just go like that.
It looks incredible. I want to get a bite of that before we go to ad break. Wow! And it's vegetarian, so a veggie like me can eat it.
100%.
Oh.
What do you think?
Oh, it comes alive. I'd bite the burger, but I don't eat meat.
You don't eat
it looks
meat.
amazing. It smells amazing. I'd make it for my family.
Well, what you can do is you can also make it vegetarian. So as far as using soya beef itself, you can also use that, and that's also very effective in terms of that. But I mean, as I said, you can research. There's so many things that you can put in these foods and everything else like that.
Brad, you're a superstar. Thank you so much. This food looks great. Me and the crew are going to be happy when the show ends. after the break. Apple, straight, or curvy? Discover your body type and dress to your strengths. Welcome back. It's our how-to show today, and now some fashion tips. A top tip in looking fabulous is knowing how to play up your best features and disguise your flaws. There are different body types and certain rules about how to dress those shapes. So, let's find out how to dress to your strengths. And no better person to show us than wardrobe stylist Janine Carly-James. Welcome to the show, Janine.
Thank you.
Why is it so important for a woman to know her body type?
If you don't understand what shape you are, you don't know how to conceal the bits you don't like,
Yeah.
and you don't know how to flaunt the bits that you do like.
It's true, it's true. So let's get started in understanding these shapes. Let's go through the apple shape.
Okay, the apple shape is basically very rounded, so she has very good arms, very good legs, but all the weight is carried on the tummy area.
Is it here in the middle?
That's
Okay,
right.
great.
It creates a sort of a ball effect.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. So what can an apple shape do to play up her strengths? The arms are great on an apple shape and
They
the legs are great.
That's
Okay.
right. So what you want to do is dissect the silhouette, so to speak, and actually take it from a round to a more elongated silhouette.
We've got that beautiful before and after. Look at how amazing she looks.
Well, on the before, as you can see, the bust is actually tumbling down into the tummy, giving
It's
the
true.
round effect.
It's true.
And in the after, I've put her into a top which has got vertical lines, so it streamlines her. Critical for an apple, must have a really good bra to lift
Oh,
and
to
separate
lift,
from the
because
tummy
the
area.
bust is heavy.
That's right.
Right.
And then she had dark denim jeans on to just balance out the top half as well.
Fantastic. Okay.
Okay.
Show us a couple of
This
of
is
things that
a
an apple
wonderful
shape
little
could do.
trick, great little trick. Keep the neckline open. You need small pleats that just tumble over the problem area. But something women don't employ often enough is this small overlapping design which confuses the eyes and makes all the lumps and the bumps disappear like
Overlapping
magic.
design, these pleats.
And
fabric.
the design. If it was a block colour, you see everything. But with a small little design, it hides everything. Then you put a little cardigan over the top and you created 3 long strips instead of 1 block of colour. It works amazingly
And it's
well.
a mesh cardi to show her beautiful arms.
That's right.
Apple shape can also wear like shorts, can wear skirts, can wear...
They can wear skirts. It's very important with a skirt to get it right, though. Here's an example. You want a nice wide waistband. It's very important it sits halfway down the tummy area. And any pleats or gathers start below the tummy area. So can you see it's stitched down flat here?
Yes, yes.
That's really important that they don't go into the waistband.
Let's get on to the next body
Sure.
type. Curvy shape.
Yes, that's me and you, Lego. We're the curvies.
Do we have the same body
Yes,
type?
we're just
Really?
different sizes, that's all.
I see.
We have a bust, we have bottom, we have thighs,
Yeah.
but what we do have, we have a defined waist.
Right, we've got it all. Boom,
That's
boom,
it,
there.
yeah. And we have a before and after
Okay,
as well.
let's see the before and after.
The before and after is a problem a lot of curvy shape women do is
She's
they
hiding.
Yes, in a tent.
In a tank.
Full
Why?
birth tent,
Yes,
I
that
know.
makes her just look even 1,000 times bigger than she really is.
That's
Look
right.
at how beautiful her body
That's
is in
right.
that dress.
The key to dressing curves is you've got to show your curves. Don't hide them away.
Hallelujah. So highlight the waist.
That's right.
Okay.
A key thing for a curvy shape, this should be in everybody's wardrobe if you're a curve.
I've got one of these.
Good,
yes.
is a V-neck cardigan, minimises the bust and it mimics your natural shape.
So it brings everything in.
Just button it up, 2 buttons below the bust, leave everything else open.
Ah, what else? What else can curvy girls get away with?
Pencil skirt.
I love these.
Simple, clean design, really just shows your natural womanly shape. It's ideal. Also, very important, a wrap top. This is nice because big
yes.
arms often come as a package deal.
Yeah, and it's true, huh?
Yes, so you want to
it's
cover
true.
them up a little bit.
Yeah.
Then you've got pleating at the side. That creates nice soft folds of fabric, so you don't know whether it's fabric or flap. The onlooker is a bit confused,
Fantastic.
which is what you want as well.
Again, highlighting the breasts, highlighting the waist,
That's
highlighting the
it.
stuff that you want to highlight.
Absolutely.
Let's go on to the next shape. What about bottom heavy shape?
Right, the bottom heavy shape, she's got very nice trim shoulders, she has a nice long torso, but it all goes wrong from the hips downwards.
And that's South African special. That is a black girl body. That's
Yes,
it.
it's a common issue
Yeah,
or common...
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
To do this one, What you have is a nice little top with either cap sleeves or gathers. It just elongates narrow shoulders, and you don't want a top that's too long. Don't try and hide your saddlebags with too long a top.
Like the one that you've got here on the picture.
That's right. That's a critical mistake bottom-heavy ladies do, is they wear a long top. It shortens your legs visually.
She looks beautiful in the after pic. She looks like she's 4 sizes smaller in the after pic.
And all the thighs are hidden under that lovely voluminous skirt that she's wearing.
And it gives the beautiful shape of her bottom
That's
instead
right.
of showing you exactly what it looks like. What else have we got? We've got top-heavy shape.
Top-heavy shape?
Yeah.
With a top-heavy shape, they have very broad shoulders, they have a big bust, they have an undefined torso. They do, however, have spectacular legs.
Yeah, they do.
They really
yeah,
do.
They do. They've got killer calves, killer thighs. So what do they? So obviously they're playing up the legs now.
That's right.
Okay.
And you're minimising the top to bring it in balance with the trimmer smaller half.
Like you've done in the before and
That's
after.
right.
Look at her.
Yes, we've got rid of that high neckline, which just makes the bust look even bigger. We've given her the shape, and the bootleg trousers really balances out the top half.
And there's a femininity that you've brought to her body, because when she was dressed, you know, like a boy, then it just you just look like a square. But with the long jeans and the V-neck top, it gives her body curves.
This type of lady often feels quite masculine, so it's hard for her to feel feminine.
Yes.
Nice combination for her would be this little tank top, because you want to lessen the width of the shoulders, so it visually stops here instead of over here. It tricks the eyes. That's right.
Clever, 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 clever. We've got just over a minute to get through two more. I know, but it goes so fast and it's so interesting. Straight shape, straight cut.
Yeah, straight up and down, great legs, great arms, no definition to the torso.
Yes.
The idea is to bring a waist in, or create the illusion of a waist.
Okay. So what can we do? What can we do for straight shapes?
Well, with the straight shape, as I did here, is you want to put her in clothing that points to the waist or gives the illusion of a waist.
Fantastic, like that little cardi that ties just underneath the bust. It brings in her waist.
That's it, exactly. So wear things like little tops with fluted sleeves, work very nicely.
What does that do?
That adds shape to the overall impression. You're not dressing just for the detail, you're dressing for the overall impression.
Dressing a whole
so you're
package.
creating shape around that figure.
Okay.
Another little skirt that works very well with the fluted hemline does the same thing.
We've got to get you back onto the show.
I need to come back on.
I think you need to come back onto the show. You're fantastic. We have to get to preggy women.
We so do.
Preggy women. What do you do? I mean, because any of these body types can get pregnant, and then you've got this big tummy that you've got to deal with in 20 seconds. One top tip that you could give for the preggy ladies.
Well, you don't have to always buy pregnancy clothes. You could get this nice little skirt with a wide waistband, and you just make it migrate downwards the bigger you get.
Yes.
Okay, this little kind of dress is also useful. It's got ruching
Beautiful, I love
at the top,
this.
and it just expands while you're expanding.
And what's great about this is you can even wear it afterwards.
For sure.
I'm fundamentally against buying clothes that you do not like when you are pregnant. If you're never going to wear it again, why have it?
You've got to love it, otherwise you don't wear it.
Janine, you are a superstar. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're back after the break with our final how-to when exercise guru Ronald Abvaji gets physical. And we will finally find out what this pile of goodies is going to be used for. Welcome back. It's our how-to day today, and for our final feature, we are joined by personal trainer and wellness expert Ronald Abvaji. I've taken off my shoes because I'm about to get moving. Many moms just don't have time or the money to get to the gym, but that doesn't matter because you can turn ordinary household items into gym equipment. This is great news, hey?
Your body's your gym, and if you have household items around you, you can gym wherever you are.
I love
that. So it's about knowing what to do with what you have available.
What about getting your mind right? What kind of mental state do you have to be to commit to an exercise program?
Your mindset is as follows. You want to get your body healthy. You want to get your body fit. You want to get your body strong. You want to feel the energy and the vibrancy with it. So your first element of any exercise routine is, number one, is believe that you can do it and commit to yourself that you're doing this for yourself, for your baby, for your family, to give you longevity and in life and all else that you're going to be doing.
Okay, so I don't have the money, I don't have the time to go to the gym. What can I do in my house with the stuff that I see every single day?
All right, so first things first. All right, we have a bucket and a mop.
Yeah.
Now, often when people pick up the bucket, they tend to lean from the lower back.
Yeah.
Put strain on the lower back, especially after, you know, whether you're pregnant or have given birth, you find your lower back takes a lot of strain because of the lordotic curve.
For sure.
So what you then do is, you just angle your toes out and you just squat and pick the bucket up. Now, the secret to this is as follows.
Like
okay,
a,
right,
like
sweetie.
a squat.
Like a squat. But notice, your toes are angled out. Open the legs a bit wider as you pick up the bucket.
As I pick up the, and I can fill it with water.
With water.
Or I can put the baby's toys.
Or whatever you have
and
in
now
there.
I'm
You're
squatting, I'm exercising.
You're working the quadriceps, you're working
And
the
I feel
hamstrings,
it.
and you're working that gluteus firmus.
What? The gluteus maximus. What else can we do?
All right. Next thing, mopping.
Mopping.
Is often a very drudge-filled exercise.
Yeah.
So you find that people often stand there and they're mopping this
Yeah.
way. Put on some music. Get the hips to work a little bit, and from there you lunge it to the side, and you
you're
lunge it to the side.
lunging.
Bring on some grooves, man. Whether that mop is your microphone.
I'm lunging to
You're lunging.
Beyonce. I'm lunging. There we go.
Come on, man. Get bootylicious, girl. All right. So that's with the mop in the bucket.
That's with the
As
mop in the
simple as
bucket.
that.
We've got like 2 minutes, Ronald. The beans. The can of beans.
Can
What
of
do we
beans.
do? Yeah.
You know, variances on weight. You can add beans, you could use telephone directories, you could use bottles filled with tomato sauce or anything else.
Right.
In each hand. So from there, you often find people will do the bicep curls, tightening up
Yeah.
on the arms. But what you're going to do is a bicep curl and then push up for the shoulder and then back down. A compound exercises working 2 or 3 muscle groups at the same time. A mom doesn't have
Feel
time.
that.
So if time is against you, that's what you do. And your speed of this exercise is ideal. You're not rushing it, and you're doing it fairly slowly.
How many of these do I do?
99 more. All right. And the last one would be, all
No,
right?
but for real though, how
For
many
real.
do I do?
You do 3 sets of 12.
3 sets of 12.
That's it.
That's not bad at
Not
all,
bad at all.
actually. Yeah.
Because remember, whether your baby's around or your baby's catching a nap, time is of the essence. So you want to squeeze in at least 10 to 15 minutes a day of the simple exercises
Let's
to do.
see if I can carry on until we finish the interview. You show me the last one.
The
Shall
last
we-
one.
Yeah.
All right, the last one's going to be as follows, right? With these in hand, we're going to work the back of the arms. Because often you find the back of the arms become an issue. So, you're going to keep the weight in hand and you're going to kick back and straighten the elbows. No. I insist that you grab
Oh,
onto
the weights.
cans
Okay,
and the
there
weights.
we go.
So,
There
kick
we
it
go.
back,
We got
straighten the
20
arms.
seconds.
There you go.
While I'm busy working these are triceps,
Triceps.
né? What do we do with the broom? Can you show us?
Right, very simple, very easy. Now, I know you like Taibo.
Yeah.
You can use a broom as balance, lift that leg up, and you can start kicking to work on this
Cheers,
side.
yes.
Balance. Because often when you kick, you find you're off balance and your kick looks a bit
Okay, you show us
cockeyed.
because we've got to go
Are
to
you ready?
wrap.
Let's go. Kicking it up.
Fantastic. So we are going to exercise while we wrap. Thank you so much, Ronald. And
It's a
thank you to all
pleasure.
of our wonderful how-to guests today. Tomorrow, Yuveka will be tackling a fascinating issue. You keep going, Ronald. We want to see those kicks. We want to see those kicks. A lot of us are struggling to find the balance between our roots and our cultures and the modern world. That's up for tomorrow. Goodbye, mummies. And remember, you are a great mummy.